हरि ओम। सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। ॐ समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्म विद्वरम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरुवे नमः। ॐ प्रातः स्मरामि हृदि संस्मृत आत्मतत्त्वम् सच्चित् सुखं परमहंस गतिं तुरीयम् यत् स्वप्नजाग्र सुषुप्तिमवेति नित्यम् तत् ब्रह्म निष्कल्महं सत् न च भूतसङ्गः। प्रातर्भजामि मनसा वचसामगम्यम् वाचो विभान्ति निखिलायदनुग्रहेण किन्नेति नेति वचने निजमचौपु तव देव देवम् अजम अच्युत अनुभवरुग्यम् प्रातर्नमामि तमसा परमार्कवर्णम् पूर्णसनातन पदं पुरुषोत्तमाख्यम् यस्मिन्दं जगदशेषमशेषमूर्तौ रज्ज्वां भुजङ्गमिव प्रतिभासितं वै। ॐ प्राणस्तेदं वसे सर्वं धृतिवेद प्रतिष्ठितं मातेव पुत्रान् रक्षस्व श्रीमश्च प्राञ्जमश्च विदेहिति। Hari Om. Pradeep ji, please do the Gita Dhyana.
Hari Om. Today being Gita Jayanti and our Param Guru Taponji's Jayanti day, I will start with the small stuti of Swami Taponji and then do the Gita Dhyana instead of our usual stotram. Vyaptam jagadyena chidatma bhavat rajvaya dhahir characharam yat sanyasya sarvam cha sadatma bhave swayam samastam cha babhuvayastu Nissanga nirmukti padam prapadya brahmatma bhavena virajito yaha Shri Saumya Kashisha Maheshwaraya Tasmai Namaswami Tapovanaya Shri Saumya Kashisha Maheshwaraya Tasmai Namaswami Tapovanaya Tasmai Namaswami Tapovanaya Tasmai Namaswami Tapovanaya Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavati Ashtadashadhyayini Amba Tvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini Namostu te Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravindayatapatra netra Yena tvaya bharata taila purnaha Prajwalito jnanamaya pradipaha Prapanna parijataya Totra vetraikapanaye Jnanamudraya krishnaya Gita mritaduhe namaha Sarvopanishado gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Dugdham Gitamritam Mahat Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Bhishmadronatata Jayadratha Gandhara Nilotpala Shalyagrahavati Kripena Vahani Karnena Velakula Ashwathama Vikarna Ghora Makara Duryodhana Vartini Sotirna Khalu Pandavairananadi Kaivartaga Keshava Parasharya Vachas Sarojamamalam Gitaarthagandhotkatam नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलः प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदै गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः हरि ओम्
Hari Om. I'll start with the Gita chanting. Om Shri Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Balan Balan Vitamasmi Kamaraga Vivarjitam Dharma Viruddho Bhuteshu Kamosmi Bhartashabha Ichaiva Sattvika Bhavaha Rajasa Tamasajjaya Mata Mata Evati Tan Vidhi Natvam Aham Te Sute Mai Tribhira Gunamay Yara Mayayira Bhavahira Iba Sarvam Idam Jagat Mohitam Nabhijanati Mami Bhai Paramavyayam Devi Ya Isagunamai Mama Maya Durattaya Mami Vayi Prapadyante Mayami Tam Tarantite Namad Drushtkiti Mudhaha Prapadyante Naradhama Mayaya Partha Jnana Asuram Bhavam Ashrita Chaturvidha Bhajante Ma Jana Sukriti Nurjuna Artho Jignasur Artharthi Jnani Kya Bharatarshava Tesham Jnani Nitya Yukta Eka Bhakta Bhir Vishishyate Priyo Hi Jnanino Artyartham Aham Sam Jamama Priya Udara Sarva Evate Jnani Atmavit Vimatam Astitha Sahi Yuktatma Mami Van Vanutatmagatim Bahunam Janma Ante Jnanan Mama Prapadyante Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Mahatma Sudurlabha Kaimastaisya Taisirarta Jnana Prapadyante Devita Tam Tam Niyamamastaya Prakriti Nitya Swayaha Om. Hari Om. We will begin with our recap discussion. Vithalji, please start with the recap, the last week.
Hari Om. Last week we covered Shloka 12, which talked about Lord saying that whatever being or the objects.
Vithalji, we can't hear you. Please start.
Hari Om. Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hari Om. Yeah, in last class we covered shloka number 12 and 13, where Lord says, whatever being that are pure in this world, that are pure, active and inert, know them that they rise from me. And then the contradiction, which is, yet I am not in them, they are in me. So that was shloka number 12. And the explanation went that the infinite variety of thoughts and ideas that arise in the heart of the living kingdom has been observed and classified under the three main moods, that is sattva, rajas and tamas. And then in shloka number 13, what was covered was what shloka number 13 said is, deluded by these three nature of sattva, rajas and tamas, all this world knows me not as immutable and distinct from them. So basically the moha takes over, and the modification of these three gunas, the world of living creature become blind to the divine possibility in themselves, and they live totally life of mere identification with the matter envelopments. And what happens is the ego does not realize the supreme distinctly different from both the lower and the higher prakriti, and experience its divine nature of immutable glory. So in brief, this was covered in shloka number 12 and 13. And then today we're going to cover 14 and 15, which is about the power of unveiling in everyone. What is we are going to cover today. So Hari Om. That's a
Hari Om, Vithalji. We move on to Sudeshji for today's verses.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Yeah, this week we covering shloka number 14 and 15. This power of veiling in every one of us is defined and described in the following stanza. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mameva ye prapadyante maya me tam tarantite. Daivi, divine, he indeed, Esha, this, Gunamayi, made up of gunas, Mama, my, Maya, illusion, Duratyaya, difficult to cross over, Mama, in me, Eva, alone, Ye, who, Prapadyante, take refuge, Mayama, Mayam, illusion, Etam, this, Taranti, crossover, they. Verily, this divine illusion of mind made up of gunas caused by the qualities is difficult to cross over. Those who take refuge in me, they alone can cross over this illusion. No doubt, Lord Krishna himself admits that it is not easy for any egocentric individual to transcend this delusion in himself, which is caused by his Maya. If a doctor were to come and diagnose a disease and declare that there was no cure for it, nobody will have the faith to follow that doctor's prescription and advise faithfully. Similarly, here, if Krishna diagnosis of this world sorrow and problems is to be defined by a term Maya, and if the doctor of the universe declares that this Maya disease is difficult to cure, nobody would faithfully follow such a sad, pessimistic philosophy. themselves, Krishna realized these defects and therefore immediately removes any such misconceptions in the minds of the students of the Gita. Sometimes a doctor will have to use strong words in describing the illness to the very patients in order to bring home to sufferer the seriousness of his malady. So too, Krishna is here only bringing home to us by a direct thrust the seriousness of the mental tragedy into which the Supreme has seemingly fallen to become the finite mortal ego. After declaring the seriousness of the disease and the prescription, he hastens to guarantee a complete cure for the malady of man. The Lord says, those who devote themselves to me alone shall cross over their subjective delusion, which has created for a man the objective words of sorrows and imperfections. How to do this has been already explained while discussing the techniques of meditation in the last chapter. With a single pointed mind, to contemplate on the self is the direct path, and in order to walk this narrow way, the mind is to be made steady and concentrated through the processes that have already been discussed. Refer commentary on Gita chapter 6.14. Then why don't all those who meditate upon him experience the glory? Namam duskritino mudaha prapadyante naradama mayaya aprahata jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. No, not mama, to me, duskritana, evildoers, muda, the deluded, prapadyante, seek, naradama, the lowest of men, mayaya, by maya, aparatajnana, deprived of knowledge, asuram, belonging to demons, bhavam, nature, ashritaha, having taken to. The evildoer, the deluded, the lowest of men do not seek me. They whose discrimination has been destroyed by their own delusions follow the ways of the demons. In the last stanza, those who have successfully transcended their own subjective delusions have been indicated, and here, naturally, Krishna is trying to talk about the negative nature in those who cannot overcome this delusion to realize the divine in themselves. Unless the contrast of ideas are given, the individual student will not be in a position to understand properly what exactly are the mind's tendencies and appetites of the mind that are the true symptoms of the delusions. Low men, deluded and indulging themselves in evil actions, follow the path of devil, asura, and get themselves deprived of their bitter discrimination. We all know that the insignia of the higher evolution in man over the animal kingdom is nothing more than his rational intellect, which can discriminate between the good and the bad, the high and the low, the moral and the immoral. This discriminative awareness is the subtle instrument by which individuals are rendered capable of awakening themselves from the dream of their own imperfections to their own essential nature of absolute divinity. This faculty can function effectively only in a bosom that is unagitated by the sense impulses. The more an individual misunderstands himself to be only a mere mass of flesh and continuously pants for a self-gratification through sense indulgences, the more is he considers a sinner. sin in this sense is but a devolutionary action which is not appropriate to the dignity and status of the highest evolutionary glory in man. Sin can be perpetrated only by those who have deluded themselves by believing that they are merely a masses of flesh with minds of hungry for emotional satisfaction and intellect trying to assert and express their own ideas. Here such people are called by the Gita as deluded, Muda. The way of life in such deluded men, Asura Bhava, has been exhaustively described to us by indicating the opposite good qualities of the perfect one, Daivi Bhava, later in Gita 16.3. So, we discussed, Shloka 14, what Krishna, declares in first pada, that, any, the divine illusions made up of gunas called Maya is mine only. But he further warned that it is difficult to cross over this Maya, which create delusion for the egocentric individuals. Like, identify rope as snake in Vedanta philosophy. Same in the same shloka, the next pada, Lord continued with the assurance that, those refuge in me only cross over this delusion called Maya. So here, Gurudeva gave a very good, effective example for this shloka on the relations between doctor, patient, and disease. How the doctor to keep patient faith and hopes. So when patient suffering with a chronic disease, of course, it is the responsibility of the doctor to brief that, the deceased patient that it is consequences and etc. But even though the patient's situation is in critical situation, doctor has to create some hopes and faith on chance of cure to patient's mind, so that patient follow the doctor's description and advice faithfully, with some hopes that, it turn out that it turn out the treatment in an effective way. So similarly here in this shloka, Krishna giving a hopes to all the sincere sadhakas that, to continuously try to cross over his mind. This is also one of the good example. And I also read one example in somewhere, that is God and his Maya and fisherman and his fishing net. Normally, a fisherman, especially we are all from coastal area, so fisherman, throws his fishing net in a river or even sea or wherever. So he flashes the net, where he initially identify where the more fishes are visible. Then he throws the fishing net so that it covers maximum area, because he used his own practice to cover maximum area. Then he slowly pulls the strings which contract the area, and fishermen trap the fishes under his net. That is the tactics normally fishermen use. The question is here, is there any chance of escape, or any way of escape for any fish to from this fishing net? There is one way is available. That is actually when fisherman flashed the fishing net, when the fish immediately approached near to the fisherman foot or leg area, then that fish escaped from the net trap. So similarly, here also, what we can say that when the devotee surrender to God's feet, then he can escape from God's own Maya net. That's what I understand from Shloka 14. And Shloka 15, what Lord describes and was that the deluded people living in illusionary world, leading themselves to self-destruction only. So this is the clear warning the Bhagavan gives here, and also describe that those asura bhava, Lord used here 3 words. One is duskritena, the evil doers, then muda, deluded, and naradama, the lowest man. In last previous shloka, Lord mentioned Daivi word, and here in this shloka is using Asura word. So here both Daivi and Asura gunas with cause and effects are elaborately discussed in chapter 16, Daiva Asura Sampada Vibhaga Yoga. So here in this shloka, Krishna wants that that any asura bhava, that demonic qualities, leads to some effects like lust, envy, pride, anger, jealousy, arrogance, etc. So which eventually leads to self-destruction only. So like Ravana in Ramayana and Duryodhana in Mahabharata. This is what I understand from these 2 shlokas.
Hari Om, Sudesh. Hari Om, we'll move on with the comments of the others. Nanduji, I would request you to share your views on this today.
Hari Om, very nicely explained by Sudeshji. My thoughts on this 2 shlokas today, and the complete shlokas from 7:13 to 19. It's talking about like it's like a glimpse of Devasur Sampatti Vibhagya, which is like the chapter 16. And for all this, the base is also the chapter 14, which is about the Gunatraya Vibhagya, where the Sattva Rajatama is more detailed in the Gita. And there is one famous shloka in the 14th chapter, which is about the Urdhvam Gachanti Satvastha Madhyam Tishtati Rajasaha. And those who are like having like qualities which like a low quality, they will go to the like Tamoguna, which is with like a Teriyakyoni. So Teriyakyoni are the animals who are having like their backbones parallel to the ground. Whereas only in human birth, we have that opportunity to elevate ourselves. And this, if you can say, in the 14th 14th shloka, about the Bhagavan says about like Mama Maya Durattaya. And Pradeepji very nicely shared the video this morning about Gurudev very nicely explained about that one. And Mama Maya Durattaya is very difficult to cross over, but that doesn't mean it's not possible. It is possible. But for whom? Those are like Mameva E Prapadante, Maya Meta Tarantite. Those who are like surrendering me, for them it is possible. It is not said that it is impossible. It is possible but for those only. And moving on to like this 15th shloka, and Samartha Ramdas very nicely mentioned about this whole thing in his Dasbodha. And Dasbodha, there are like a 20 dashakas. Dashaka means like each chapter is called as a like samas, and 10 samasas brought together, and it is said as a dashaka. Like that, there are like 20 dashakas in Dasbodha. And second dashak, which is talking about like lakshan. Lakshan means like a qualities of people. And again, like this is like summarized with like uh, how people have that quality. And for that, Samatha Ramdasa divided in 2 categories, which is similar to like what we have in Gita about Devi Guna Sampatti and Asuri Sampatti. So 5 of the good qualities and 5 of the like bad qualities. And under the bad qualities, there is like how people are like with Rajoguna, how people with Tamoguna, and Sattva is in like a good quality. This is basically actually for like checklist for all of us. Even from the Gita chapter, wherever it is mentioned from the 14th chapter about Sattva Rajatama, how Sattva people are behaving, how Rajatama are behaving. So there itself, maybe it is good for us to identify where am I. And even I think Sadhana Panchakam, we have learned a little bit about it. Within 5 shlokas only, Acharya summarized all that thing. And that is actually like, those are like 14 points, 40 points. So which is like basically what need to be done from starting from the Veda then and all that thing. And Samrathananda, one more thing you mentioned about like one category is about like a Padhata Murti. What do you mean by Padhata Murti? He's having like everything, all the knowledge of like Gita, Dhaneshwari, and everything. But like when it comes to like implementation, it's very hard. And most of the thing for me also, it might be something similar quality. So as a like sadhaka, it's very important for us. We should to know, I mean, where I am, and from there maybe we can elevate ourselves. So from Mama Maya Dorekaya, that is possible to reach there. And the chapter, the beginning of this chapter itself, Bhagavan mentioned about like Manusyanam Sahasreshu. So we need to reach maybe up to that quality. I want to become part of that, maybe 1% out of maybe 1,000, and just to elevate ourselves. Hari, that's my small thoughts.
Hari Om. Okay, we go to the Jairamji, would you like to share your views today?
Hari Om. Sudesh ji, the example was very prompt, apt in the sense the fish reaching the fisherman and avoiding the net. That reminds me of a beautiful example by Gurudev. When a person goes to a unknown place where there is a dog, they have kept a board there, beware of dogs. So he waits outside and ring the bell, and the owner of the house comes out and invites him in. But along with him, the dog also comes. So the owner says, don't worry, he will not do anything, he'll just barking. But it is being an Alsatian dog, its look itself is so terrible. So this man is so much worried. But in such cases, he says that be very close to the master so that the dog will not attack you. This is a trick given. I remembered this just now. So such examples, we sometimes forget the actual shlokas from the Gita, but these stories and examples reminds us. That triggers another story I've heard from Mahabharata, where Bhagwan Uddhav have this conversation, and Uddhav ji has got a lot of questions. So he was asking Krishna that why didn't you stop Yudhishthira from playing the game of dice? You know that he is not an expert, so you could have stopped that. And another question is, why did you not step in while Draupadi was disrobed? Such questions, because we could have avoided all these situations. For this, Krishna answers that I know that Yudhishthira is not good in the game. Same way, Duryodhana also is not, although he's a king, he is also not good in the game. But he chose to take the help of his uncle for the game. And Yudhishthira was sure that he is not an expert, but he wanted to play, and he was praying that he knew that this is not a good thing to do. Similarly, all the time, our intellect warns us from good and bad. But then the mind says, forget it. This time, one time it is okay. So any positive or negative actions, the positive always comes in. But the negative, if it is more stronger, the positive thoughts is getting vetoed. Like our gunas, 3 gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. This mixture is always there, but depending on the quantity of that particular moment, whoever is higher, sattva becomes weak in that sense, because rajas becomes strong and sattva is ignored. So coming back to that, Krishna says that, okay, Yudhishthira, the same way Yudhishthira knew that. So he was thinking that I should not come to know about it. That means Krishna did not come to know about this game. So he stopped by from Yudhishthira. Similarly, Draupadi, the initial stages, she was using all her strength to avoid this disrobing, but only when she actually felt that nothing is possible, only Krishna can save me, that situation I stepped in. Similarly, so we according to and connecting to these shlokas, this divine is available to us, but we forget that. And because of this vasanas is such strong in us, we forget that there is something higher is available for us. So this connection is saying that we must approach the right doctor. The doctor is available, and unless we approach him, nothing can be, because we don't know that we are suffering from the disease. So understand that there is a disease and we have the right remedy available. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Vasukuttanji, would you like to share your views?
Sorry, Manishji, I'm not prepared for it. Sorry, maybe sometime later.
Okay. Vithalji, would you like to share your views on the today's two paragraphs?
Yeah, yes. Hari Om. Some few thoughts that came while reading these 2 shlokas are as follows, which I have made a quick note on. Last week in shloka number 12, we clearly understood. Lord says, the gunas rise from me, yet I am not in them. But they are in me. That's where we saw that clarification on that. And here again, what reflection came on me was the problem is because of moha. That also we saw in last week. Yeah. Again, this is risen from Lord himself, which is from Maya. So there is that is a problem, but Lord gives Lord says that the solution is me. So concentrate and meditate on me is the solution, as far as my understanding goes here. So if we look at from Gurudev's BMI chart, we all know that I is where the desire arises, and then the agitation happens in the mind, in the M. Lord says here that as a doctor, the problem is known. He says the problem, but then the solution also he gives is that you have to go from this BMI beyond the vasanas and concentrate on that Om from the BMI chat. So that is the solution. What Lord, I am the only solution. There is nothing else. So it's very clear, and the end shloka also in Gita, Mamekam Sharanam Braja, it clearly it again it is reiterated there. So that's pretty much. And if you look at it from a yoga perspective also, which gets covered in the next shloka, is the Dikshiptam, the Moodam, the Vikshiptam, the Ekagram and Niruddham. So here, as a practitioner, it's about that concentration which is spoken about, Ekagram, which is then gets into the Niruddha Avastha or the Chitta Bhumi in the yoga philosophy as well. What I could think about shloka number 15 was the example itself is in Mahabharata that came to my mind. The example is of Duryodhana and Arjuna. So they both reach to Lord, and Lord declares there very clearly to them, I will not pick up arm or weapon to fight in the war. And Arjuna was given the chance there, and he picks up Lord over the Narayani Sena. So though the Gita starts with the Vishada Yoga of Arjuna, but somewhere he was, I think, very clear that what he wanted the Lord, nothing else. So his concentration per se was on the Om all the time. To which when he picks up the Narayana Sena, though Duryodhana debates a lot with the Lord that I came first, I should get the chance, you should allow me to pick, I should ask you what I want. So all those debate goes on, but when Arjuna picks Lord over the Narayana Sena, he becomes happy. And it is it's again said very clearly. The Duryodhana's perspective is also very clearly somewhere it is said that he says that janami dharmam na chame nivrittir, janami dharmam na chame, janami dharmam na chame pravrittir, janami dharmam na chame nivrittihi, kenapi devna ridhi sthitena yata niyukto asmi tata karo. I know what is right, but I am not able to practice it, he says. I know what is wrong, and I am not able to keep away from it. So I know the dharma, but I cannot practice it. I know the adharma as well, but I cannot practice it. Some Lord which is there, I act as per what it has been directed from deep within my heart. So, and we know if we follow the heart, which is a mind, which is the agitated mind, we follow our action happens because through that means, and not through the intellect, which is the discriminating power, which helps us to think clearly between what is good and what is bad, and concentrate on that Om of the BMI chart. So the shloka number 15 for me was a perfect example of what Lord is trying, what Gurudev is also trying to say here, especially on those words which is mentioned there. Low men, deluded and indulging themselves in evil action, follow the path of devil, asura, and get themselves deprived of their better discrimination. So that's how I think Duryodhana was completely deprived of the better discrimination. Even though the Lord was there, very even when the Lord is there in front of you, your discrimination power is just off. You're off the mark completely. You cannot think, that I have to choose the Lord and nothing else, which Arjuna does, which is, I think, the discrimination power is working pretty well at that moment in time. That is my little understanding on these two shlokas. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Very well explained. Okay, I'll give my views on these two shlokas again. So, coming to shloka number 14, yes, I think the key message there is that surrender is the only way. Surrendering to the Lord, with unison, with one single pointed mind. That is the only solution for coming out of all this Maya and all its related activities, because otherwise this will keep you completely preoccupied. There will be no time left at all to think about Lord or to concentrate upon that. So, and that is exactly what God is saying here, that you have to completely surrender and take refuge in me. So the exactly coming from the chapter 2 verse 7 also, where the Lord suggests that you have to surrender, the same message is getting repeated in more precise manner in this chapter. Then coming to the verse number 15, it is more like, as many of them rightly pointed out, from the Devasur, Sampati. So this, what are our mental tendencies? We try to, we are never fixed. This is what is coming. We don't have a steady intellect, and where we keep wavering between the good and the bad. Many times we are influenced by the Devi Prakriti, and we take the right decisions and all. But many a times we are, due to our greed and so many other vasanas which we are carrying from the previous births, we get lost into the, uh, you know, asuric activities. And these asuric activities, as pointed out in this verse, they only, reduce your discriminative power. So as the discrimination power keeps going lower, your intellect becomes weaker, and you are unable to take the righteous decisions. In fact, you start taking more and more incorrect decisions, which are more like, favorable at that moment, or you are into the lust of greed, power, or any kind of, durvyasan which will be attracting you at that time. So this Devesur, this itself, the human mind itself, when it is in such a dilemma and it is not coming out of it, it is very important that we go to that verse number 14 and say that yes, we have to surrender to the Lord, and everything what the Lord guides us should be the basis on what we should take the. That is why we are not able to come out of all this, because the asuric activities keep us taking back to the same places where we have been in the past, and we just keep resisting all the righteous actions. So the Karma Yoga was explained to us in chapter 3, but chapter 7 is giving you the discriminative grounds on which your Karma Yoga should work. That is why Gita is such a beautifully interwoven, net in which you can have to keep on continuously in your heart and mind to keep yourself, and as it is also mentioned, like, you have to arise to the occasion and fight. So this is the against active resistance to evil. This is where this all uh, comes in. Means it is not like that the chapter narratives are different. They are all pointing you towards the same thing. This is what I basically understand from this. Hari Om. We'll go to Pradeep ji now. Pradeep ji, would you like to share your views?
Hari Om. दैवी ह्येषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया मामेव ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति ते. So, as explained by all, it is, Bhagavan says that it is my Maya. In the earlier verse where Lord Bhagavan has said that the lower and higher Prakriti are mine, like that. Here, Bhagavan says it is Mama Maya Duratya. This is mine. So those beautiful examples of the fishermen. The examples given of the fishermen and fisherman's net and the one who stays, the fish which stays close to the feet of the fisherman is saved. And also the example of the owner of the dog. When you are known to the owner or call his name out, so you are saved from that. So this is, we understand this Bhagavan's Maya and we have to surrender. But why is it not happening? So Swamiji Gurudev says in that video that it is the vasanas at the individual level originating from avidya. That is a sense of incompleteness in us, is causing the desire. So that sense of incompleteness, which causes the desire in the intellect and coming down as agitations in the mental zone and as actions in the physical body. So that is the source of this problems we are facing, that is at the individual level. And all this put together, the total vasanas of the entire macrocosm is called the Maya, Gurudev says. So the collective level of ignorance. And also here, the term used, I think Sanjay ji has said this before, but hope Sanjay ji will explain that again, that these terms are used loosely in many places. I mean, even this verse, it is, in the meaning of the verse, it is written Maya as illusion, whereas in the commentary, it is mentioned as delusion. So what is the difference between illusion and delusion? So if I understand correctly, what I think is, it is the apparent reality is considered as the illusion. That is where the adhishtanam is not very visible or it is apparent. Like the dream, it is a projection of the mind, or the mirage, which is the heat of the sand. There's no water. The water is seen. But whereas delusion is like the snake and the rope. When there is an object or there is a rope of the shape of a snake, then only the snake can be seen there. So the adhishtanam has to be very visible. So what is, but we are not seeing it because of the dim light. So when the light is brought there, so the misapprehension of reality is gone, and misapprehension of reality and non-apprehension of reality is gone, and the reality, I mean the truth is seen. So that is in the light of knowledge, the light of consciousness, this illusory world of apparent reality is superimposed on the truth called Brahman will be visible only once that surrender happens, that point of single pointedness happens. So that is how this Maya is transcended. And the next verse, Swamiji says, Namam dushkritino mudhaha prapadyante naradamaha mayaya apahradajnana asuram bhavam ashritaha. Because of Maya of Tritiya is mayaya apahradajnana. The jnana is stolen, it's looted away by Maya. Because of that, this asuram bhavam is coming. So why is it so? Gurudev gives a very emphatic statement there. It is because of the lack of discriminative awareness. And what is the reason for this? This faculty can effectively function only in a bosom that is unagitated by the sense impulses. So that is, and Bhagavan is calling those who are fallen for the emotional satisfaction and the asserting and expressing their own ideas. I mean, such people are called the mudhas. So this is all for us to evaluate, because it is all very subtle, that because we can always say that this, Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga, it is Asura quality, it is Daivi quality, that. Where is that? I mean, what is the texture of my mind? How am I under the influence of Maya? And why? This is the focus of contemplation. And Gurudev says that in that white heat of meditation alone, that transcendence happens. And that happens with the practice of given in the earlier chapter. Samam kaya shiro grivam dharayan achalam stiraha sampreksha nasigagram swam risascha anavalokayan. Prashantatma vigadabihi brahmajari prate stitaha anasamyamyamachittaha yukta asita matparaha. Bhagavan should be made the gati, matparaha. The param should be the direction, should be the focus, should be the goal. And yukta asita matparaha. So that, and then shane shane ruparamed buddhya dhriti grihitaya. With the discriminative intellect, catch hold of that power, the sacred and secret power in us called dhriti. Atma samstam manakritva. Look inside, look within. Nakinjidapi chintayet. And in that seat of meditation, don't think anything. So this is the practice which is advised to slow down the impulses, the sense impulses, the unwanted dharmas, dharman parityajya. What is our dharma? That the verse is very nicely explained, given by Bhagavan. Dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharadarshapa. What is against, that is not against, dharma aviruddho bhuteshu kamosmi. Such desire is me, Bhagavan says. So is desire bad? No. Bhagavan, desire is Bhagavan. But what type of desire? Anything which is not against dharma is Bhagavan. So what is my dharma? The law of being. What without which I am not what I am. Sugar is not sugar without the sweetness. That is the law of being of sugar. Similarly, what is my dharma? This is the point of contemplation we have to have. I have taken the birth as a human form, so my dharma is to reach him, without which I am not, I am the human. Only human has this discriminative intellect. That has to be developed. So Gurudev says from the verse 12, Na twaham teshu te mai. They are in me, I am not in them. That kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mata, matsarya. All these things are in me, but I am not in them. That we have seen. So this is the thing which we have to say to make ourselves sit in a place. So if all these things are not in me, then why I am getting affected? They will come and go as long as the matras sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino nitya tam stitikshasva bharata. When you have contact with the world of objects, the attractions, the apparent realities, you will develop Shita and Ushna, the likes and dislikes. It will come and go. Endure them with titiksha. And what is titiksha? Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam. Chinta vilaparahitam tam titiksha sa titiksha nigadyate. Viveka Chudamani, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, live through these situations heroically. Sahanam sarva dukkhanam apradikara purvakam. Anything goes wrong, whenever there is a why me question in me, I get the revengefulness in me. So never have the revenge in the mind, because what is happening is not because of anyone else, but you yourself. So endure that. Sahanam sarva dukhanam apratikara purvakam. And also don't sit and cry, oh, I have done something bad in my life, so I am suffering. So do not have chinta and chinta vilaparahitam and weeping. Sa titiksha, have that titiksha. With that, you develop the viveka, the discriminative intellect, and vairagya, to seeing the ephemerality of this world. It's like the dream. Come out of the dream, we laugh at it. The situation's there. We are not affected by it. So that state of this practice has to. That's why Gurudev says, sit for 10 minutes in a day, every day, morning and evening, quietly, do nothing. Don't do anything physically and mentally. Do nothing. We are not able to do that. So if we sit there, then we can recollect, reflect upon all these points, and then slowly, shanai, slowly, gradually, we can get a state of mind where the thoughts are reducing, and the quietness that in the anticipation, Gurudev says, when the mind and intellect is held in the expectation of the silence, in that heat of meditation, on the seat of meditation, there, when the body is stilled, the mind is stilled, and when the mind is stilled, the time is ceased, and when the time is transcended, you start realizing that samyak jnana, the anubhava jnana, the light of knowledge. It is not the knowledge, it is the light of knowledge. Only the reality becomes obvious. So from this point of view, these two verses are the most heart of this chapter. Mama Maraya Duratya Mameva Ye Prapadyande Mayam Etam Tarantite. Bhagavan has given that the solution to come out of it. So, and Gurudev has given us the tips how to do it, and then slowly translate that into our day-to-day living. Hari Om.
Arunji, would you like to share your views?
Hari Om, Manish, sorry, I'm not talking today. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Dr. Arpit, would you like to share your views?
Hari Om, Manish ji, no, I haven't prepared.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Ankit ji, would you like to share your views?
Hari Om, no, nothing to say.
Sampada ji?
Sorry, Manish ji, not prepared.
Okay. Hari Om. Then we move to Dr. Jadhav.
Hari Om. We had a brilliant exposition by Pradeep ji. In a very franker sense, the Bhagavad Gita, why it is considered as the ultimate Smriti literature for the entire mankind, is because one shloka also, if contemplated in the manner that is expected, alone can prove to be the harbinger of emancipation. In the commentary of these two shloka, Gurudev has given a lot of giggles, a lot of jokes. And mind well, when Gurudeva laughs, it is the most serious thing that we should note. His laughter connotes divine seriousness. It's a different matter that we also laugh thinking it as a joke. But the depth from which that sarcasm, that joke is coming, should compel us to think about it. Each word, each pada, forcing us, compelling us to think. In one sweeping statement, the Lord has given so much of information about the whole universe that we are a part of. All our fundamental questions are answered in the one shloka itself. Who am I? Why I am having so much of pain, sorrow in this world? When am I going to be free from all these sorrows that I'm getting or the kicks that I'm getting in this universe? What is truth? Why am I struggling so hard here? Why is it that earning yasha, kirti, satta, sampatti, pratishtha is still not helping me to be happy? What is real happiness? What is satisfaction? Why the hell the world has been made so hellish? Are we condemned to be in the hell forever, or there is some way out of this hell? Is the concept of heaven again a concept only, or it truly exists? Being in heaven and out of this hell is alone the final aim of us, or whether it is not being in hell, not being in heaven is the final aim? So many questions galore in our mind, sometime or the other, in those rare moments of contemplation, mainly the frustration. We lose something, we have enormous sorrow, we lose something close to us, somebody's son dies, somebody loses money, and that is a time we immediately remember God, and then we start thinking, why the world has been made so painful? You are confronted with a very serious issue in your life, and then you say, God, can you help change whatever is happening with me? I'm not able to withstand the pressure of the pain or the torture that I'm going through. Can you help me? In the same breath, our other part of our mind asks a question, whom are you asking for the help? Does he really exist? Are you condemned to suffer? If you are not condemned to suffer, can anybody help you to reduce your sufferings? If that someone who's likely to help you is named as God, then where is he residing? If God is going to help me through my prayers, then why was he sitting so long till the time I got the torture? Why didn't he come in the first place itself? These are our routine questions. Why my family is having so much of problem? Look at that family. That fellow is so dumb, but he's got a good job. My daughter is so intelligent. She's still suffering. Even me, myself, I'm so intelligent. I should have been given a very senior position and a lot of wealth and all that. But look at that guy sitting at my top. He knows nothing, yet he's enjoying. What kind of God is this? Discriminatory, prejudiced person. One mind will say this, again the same mind says that no, God is omnipotent, omniscient, he's Krishna, Rudra, Vishnu, Narayana. I must pray to him. Why? Because praying helps. In the mind also, I know I have prayed so many times, but it has not helped. Still I feel it may help. All kind of contradictions in the thought processes, they always galore and occupy the whole of our thinking. All these questions, if one wants sincerely to be answered, then one shloka that is under consideration is enough, amplified with absolute pristine thoughts coming from Gurudeva in the commentary. No one except the God as he was could say it from that bottom of realization as commentary on this particular shloka in such a lucid and simple manner that it is mixed with all kinds of jokes, and it is so slippery that it may just slip out of our hands. Come to think of it, Gurudeva's commentary is a wonderful entertainment for about 20 minutes. Come to think of it, it is the philosophy of the life forever. Depends on who is where and who is listening in what manner. Lord says, Daivihi Esham. The first declaration itself is mind-boggling. Daivihi Esham. Divine indeed is this. Now, Lord is sitting up there in his splendid form and telling Arjuna, this Esham. Why? Because Etan is going to come later. Again, this is the beauty of Sanskrit language. Esham and Etan. Esham is used when you're close. Eshaha, saha, distant. Eshaha, close. Meaning, Esha, this Maya, this jugglery, this treacherous lady, this beautiful lady, this Shakti, this Chandalini, call it whatever you want to call it that way. Because if she is not there, you are not trapped. But mind well, if she is not there, you will not be saved. So is she good for you or is she bad for you? Nothing can be certainly said. Sata sat vilakshan anirvachniya. She creates desire, desire creates vasana, you get trapped, you get multiple births, you keep doing karma, you keep expecting phalam, all that she does. What a bad lady she is. But she gives you desire for Lord, you start praying for the Lord, you start really meditating on the Lord, that itself takes you closer to the Lord. What a beautiful lady and a good pious lady she is. Then what is she? What is Maya? Is she a helpful lady or a treacherous lady? On one hand, she pulls me into whatever she creates because she creates beautifully. Every creation of her is so beautiful, yet it is the beautiful creation that traps me. Yet she prompts me to come out of that trapping also. माया महा ठगिनी हम जानी. तिरगुन फासे लिए कर डोले. With the help of her three obedient servant, from which she is made up of three gunas. Maya, guna word has many meanings. One of them is a rope. Sankhya Tattvajnan takes the meaning of guna as a rope. Three ropes tied together, intertwined together, compel her to exist. तिरगुण फासे लिए कर डोले, बोले मधुरी बानी, माया महा ठगिनी हम जानी. Kabir Maharaj says, I have understood her. We haven't understood her. Kabir Maharaj has understood her. Maya maha ठगिनी हम जानी. ब्रह्मा के संग ब्रह्मानी होय बैठी, शिव के संग भवानी. पंडा के संग तीरथ होए बैठी, तीरथ में भई पानी, माया महा ठगिनी हम जानी. Kabir Maharaj in some other place says that she is none else than the wife of Rama. Which Rama? The Nirguna Niranjana Nirakara Rama, the Brahma. His wife Shakti is this Maya. Ramaya ki dulhan lutal bazar. She's here to loot, to rob you of what? Of your pristine, pure consciousness, as your nature will be robbed by her. If Maya is present, your own nature will never be delivered to you, never be disclosed to you. Ramaya ki dulhan lutal bazar. Brahma loote, Shivaji loote, तीन लोक मच हाहाकार, रमैया की दुल्हन लुटल बाजार. And Kabir Maharaj says, हम तो बच गए साहिब कृपा से, इस ठगिनी से हो गए पार. That Maya is Esham, Daivi hi Esham. So the first thing is Daivi hi. He indicates what? That is the culprit. Daivi hi Esham. This Maya is Arjuna, the problem, the culprit. Daivi hi Esham. But Daivi hi. Daivi means, because there is one more word coming there, Mama. Mama Maya and Daivi hi Esham. Why two words are used? Mama hi Esham Gunamayi Mama Maya. That could have been the shloka. It is not. Daivi hi Esham Mama Maya. Once the word used is Daivi, once it's used Maya. Mama. This reflects back to the Sankhya Tattvajnan, from where the Triguna theory has been expounded in a most beautiful form, which says that that which is without birth, Anadi, Ajnana, which is superimposed on the pure consciousness, this avarana shakti of the Ajnana, leading to adhyasa or superimposition. In other words, sun is there. The clouds came on the top of the sun. So what happened? Sun disappeared. Now, when sun disappeared because of the clouds, what is the effect? Darkness prevailed on the earth. Now, darkness has no existence. Is it appearing or not? It is appearing. Is the darkness true or not for the person on the earth? It is true. But moment the clouds are gone, where is the darkness? It's gone. So does that mean that after the clouds were removed, a new sun came and the darkness went away? No, the sun was always existing. It was the clouds were covering it. Similarly, Ajnana is covering the nature of self or the Brahma, because of which it appears that the darkness, it appears that the world is produced. But the darkness is so real. The world is so real. We are having satsanga today. Somebody is talking, somebody is listening. All adhyas. How can you say it is adhyas? Actually, I heard the satsang. There is a person called Dr. Jadhav. He walks, talks, works in so-and-so company. Pradeep ji works in so-and-so company. How all this can be false? This is too much. It is not too much, sir. You know too little. It is not too much. You know too little. Why too little? Because you are Jiva. And Jiva is what? Santa, limited. What will happen if Jiva becomes unlimited in knowing? You will become Ishvara. So that which doesn't have a limit, but yet appears on the Brahma. So it also has no reality. That which has covering of Ajnana, but without limitation, is Ishvara. That which has covering of Ajnana with limited adjunct is Jiva. So what is the difference between Jiva and Ishvara? One is having unlimited power because he is not, Ajnana is not able to cover the nature. While in that case, in individual Jiva, it is. So what happens? Limited. We are all limited power Ishwaras. He is unlimited power Jiva. We can say that. Because of our limited power that we have, Santa Upadhi, the ego gets developed in us. Imagine you know the entire creation, entire universe, you control entire universe, you will not have ego. No, why will you have ego? Because there is no other Ishvara. Ishvara cannot compare with another Ishvara. There is one Ishvara. So there is no ego. In Jiva, because of limited capacity, mine is this, that is his, there are so many Jivas, naturally the ego develops. Duality came in. Non-dual, omnipotent Jiva is Ishvara. But both these Jiva and Ishvara are called Bimba Pratibimba. Ishvara is Bimba, Jiva is Pratibimba. But the whole business of this Bimba Pratibimba, from where it came because there is a mirror called Ajnana. When the mirror came, then Bimba and Pratibimba came. No. I am sitting in front of the mirror, so I am the Bimba. My reflection in the mirror is Pratibimba. But this both came in existence because of what? Because of the mirror. If the mirror is not there, there is no Pratibimba, there is no Bimba. So if Ajnana is not there, there is no Ishvara, there is no Jiva. Then who is the one who is observing the Bimba and the Pratibimba and the mirror? All the three, somebody must be observing. That one who is observing is called witness or sakshi. Now, from that sakshi's witnesses standpoint, because that is where the achyuta is staying. Bimba pratibimba is a chuta avastha. He is achyuta. Lord Krishna is achyuta. So he is there at witness stage. From witness stage, he is talking Daivihi Esham. This bimba that you are talking, and that pratibimba and that mirror in between, or the Maya and the Jiva and the Ishvara, all these three people who are constantly dancing here, this is what my creation is. This entire thing rolled together is because of me only they are existing. I haven't created them, but their existence cannot be without me. So Daivihi Esham, it is divine in nature. Don't try to think that Maya is created by somebody other than me. No. Because the basic dictum is nothing can be created, destroyed, everything is because of me. In what way my relation is there with this particular creation? Matter of discussion. All I can say is that child is mine. I am the father. No, but I never saw him staying together with you. He's never with you. He's always there. Those are different aspects that I will explain later. Fact is, the child has been begetted by me. But I never saw you doing the creation. You were never married. How can the child be yours? That I will explain you later, because that is superimposition, adhyasa bhashya, Brahma Sutra. That is a different thing. Remember the Maya, the Jiva, the Ajnana. So when the bimba, the face, the bimba is covered by, is perceived, when you sit in front of the mirror, you perceive yourself first, right? And yourself is then perceived as reflection inside. So when you perceive yourself, it is Ishvara. When perceived as reflection, it is Jiva. So Daivihi Esham means this particular Maya, I am the witness. That is why here the word used is Daivihi Esham. Gunamayi. Simultaneously, in one word, Lord has told the nature of Maya. It is made up of three gunas. Gunamayi. Three gunas. That means nothing in this world will exist other than three gunas. As simple as that. No, but I am called so and so. My color of the skin is like this. And that stone is not moving. The water is flowing. I am dancing. I keep thinking. Whatever you may do, sir, it will have only three qualities. That's it. Nothing in this world happens, happened, or will happen other than three qualities and their exposition, sattva, rajatam. I went, personally, and I took loan and helped that particular person, oh, sir, what all you did is a sattva guna karya. No, I went and I felt like slapping that man, went and then I went, so I was so angry, you cannot even, no, sir, nothing happened. Rajoguna predominated. I just don't feel like reading Bhagavad Gita, going anywhere, just want to relax. And sir, nothing happened, Tamoguna prevailed. Everything can be classified by three gunas because Gunamai is Prakriti or Maya. There is no separate existence. Gunas are not born out of Maya. Gunas are the constituents of the Maya. And this Maya, she's so captivating that it's like a small child in a huge fair. He is lost. He doesn't know where to go, where are the parents and all that. Because all around you see is just entangling and enchanting experiences. Daivi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya. Now Mama, here the Mama is not that as Daivi. Daivi is witness, Sakshi Bhuta. Mama is Ishvara. Now the Bimba is speaking. In the second part of the shloka, Bimba is speaking. Who explained all this? Madhusudan Saraswati Maharaj. Common brain cannot understand this. You have to follow saintly people. Personally speaking, Dr. Jadhav is as useless as a dust particle. Why? That brain that you require, that viveka, sattva, guna, bharita, viveka, penetrating power of the intellect can only come to the realized souls like Gurudev, like Madhusudan Saraswati, like Shankaracharya. That is why under their auspices we study it. Madhusudan Maharaj, Saraswati Maharaj explained the difference between Daivi and Mama. Mama here is Ishvara. Mama Maya Duratyaya. Ishvara is saying to the Jiva, this Maya is very difficult to transcend. Difficult to cross over. Why difficult to cross over? You identify with it, no? Why did you identify with it? Because I kept on identifying with it. What made you identify with it? Because I kept on desiring to identify with. Why did you desire? Because I kept desiring. So what is this business of desire? Vasana, elaborately explained by Gurudeva. Are beautifully explained by Patanjali Maharaj in Yoga Sutra. Udara, Tanu, Vichinna. What does that all mean? It all means vasanas are there of umpteen number of years, fully packed and compressed into billions of vasanas. Sharira. Small part has been expressed in this birth, in which I became a doctor and I became this and I became that. And I thought I have conquered the world, but that is small expression of vasana. Those vasanas are still expressing themselves. Which one will express depends upon which one is in urgency. Udara is urgency vasana. Have to express. Udara. Then there is a vichinna also. Vichinna means a person who is busy in eating a delicious food forgets his liking about a girl. He likes girl also, but right now he is enjoying the food. When he is enjoying the girl, he will be forgetting the food. That means expressed vasana does not mean that is the only vasana. Expressed vasana suppresses the other vasana which is waiting in the wing to come on the stage. Vichinna vasana. But the one who is doing tapasya, he tries to deliberately act against the mind's inclination of that vasana. Once you try to control your mind, the vasana becomes weak, attenuated. That is called tanukaran of vasana. Attenuation. Sunday morning, I feel like going to this Ravana Bhavan. Instead, I decided to read Bhagavad Gita. What happened? Not reading Bhagavad Gita is important. You have conquered the inclination of asana of going to Ravana Bhavan. This is called Tanukarana. So constant Tanukarana will lead to weakness of Vasana. Once the weakness of Vasana is done, Kleshas are weakened. Kleshas are nothing else but the first klesha itself is avidya or ajnana or maya. Conquering maya is conquering vasana. Gurudev said sum total of all vasanas is maya. When you start conquering maya means what you will do? Weakening vasana means what you will do? Discipline and determination. Nishchaya. Nishchaya che bala tukamane hechi phala. Anything that you get out of this world is nishchaya. And nishchaya means I shall know, I will know, I ought to do it. Bhagavad Gita is not for the sake of anyone else or Gurudev or this or that. No, it's me, my need, I shall. No, I ought to do it. Drudha Nishchaya. It requires enormous amount of power and determination to overcome the vasana by doing precisely what is told to be done, not to be done as per the wish and will of the mind, which 99.99% of the time we follow the mind. The mind is expected to follow us because mind is my slave, not my master. And that is why a constant remembrance of Maya being not my nature, but my nature being other than Maya. The one who you want to conquer, at least you should have a feeling that he is a different person. If you say my wife, my child, my everything is mine, 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 how will you conquer it? To conquer, you have to separate them from yours. Vairagyam. And how do you separate? You can separate from something if you go to your original thing. And the original thing, Arjuna, is me, the Sakshi. So if you come and cling to me, clinging meaning jettison, kick off all the attachments, all the identifications with this Maya. To get out of Maya is to get out of Maya's effects. What are Maya's effects? This is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad, this food is nice, that food is not nice, that cloth is nice, that all Maya. So you get out of it. Food, Prabhu Ichcha, whatever comes to your way. Not good, not bad. There is hunger, there is some food, I ate that. Khalas, Maya is restricted only to negligible level. Sleep, I require couple of hours of sleep. Khalas, Maya is over. That should not be. No, I feel like lying down today. No, this is such a beautiful. So you must watch this serial on the TV. You know, it's such a beautiful documentary and all that. Maya is again calling. No. Then tell the mind, no Netflix, no serial. What I will do? Let me sit once more to see whether I can understand Patanjali Mahabhashya. No, but the mind doesn't like, it's such a complicated Sanskrit and all. Who is going to study? Push yourself. Push is determination, discriminative faculty, nishchaya, buddhi, discipline. Are we under the impression that Gurudev enjoyed the first week the baths at 3:30 in the morning in winter in Ganga? Was it enjoyable experience? We are in fool's paradise if we think so. I'm sure he must have also felt, wow, how cold the water is, but he braved it. That's called braved it. 1 degree drop and we need 2 blankets. What kind of Maya you will transgress? Tapa, austerity is Sharira klesha to the extent you want to defy. Even he was almost unconscious, the poor Maharaj kept on walking in the snow. Why? His body is towards the Lord. Determination. Such a determination is mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam, not esham now. Daivihi esham, when I was there as a witness, she, but now Mayam etam, eta, the effect is now being referred of the Maya. Cause as Maya is referred in Esham, effect as Maya is referred in Mayam etam tarantite. First thing what Lord has said, Durattaya, difficult. So what does it mean? It is saying that, look, you are not appearing for 10th standard or 9th standard. It is an examination of IIT entrance. What does the boy do? Oh, I have to study hard. Hard because it's a tough examination. When you say it is tough examination, You're declaring that it is not as easy as what you're doing day-to-day activity. That means Adhyatma is going to be a difficult exercise. Let it be very clear. Why Duratyayam? But is it an impossible exercise? No. Tarantite. It is possible. So both things are simultaneously declared. For us, it is going to be difficult to cross over. However, we can cross over. The gist of these two statements is we must try very, very hard and sincerely. Without sincerity, it is just a waste of time. There is an idle boy sitting in the home doing nothing. He's not working, he's not earning money, he's not doing his kartavya, he's sitting in the home. And the mother takes happiness in the fact that, he's not going out and murdering somebody, at least he's keeping quiet. Relative pleasure. So similarly, when we do Gita or anything without implementing acharyati, no achar on that part, it is like saying that, hey, at least good 2 hours, he's not trying to teach somebody or trying to find out fault in somebody because he's studying Gita. This is a negative connotation of study of Adhyatma. It is positive connotation is implemented here in the shloka. That is the reason why in the next shloka, those who do not do this, namam, Arjuna, namam, dushkrutino, evildoers. What is evildoers? You can do an act in 2 ways. One, getting entrapped in Maya or getting out of Maya. Anybody who does an act to get out of Maya, sukrutino, sukruti, you acted in a better way. How do you know that? Any act that doesn't involve you yourself as the center is sukrutino. I am earning money. I am earning itself means dushkrutino. How earning money can be dushkrutino? I am earning money for the sake of others, sukrutino. I am earning the money for myself, dushkrutino. Why? How much do you need? You need food because you have to remain alive. You need clothes because society expects you to, unless you are a sannyasi. And you need a shelter because you should not fall sick and others. So basic one, it is covered. Then additional 2 apartments and 1 bungalow and a plot of land. What is this? Dushkrutino. But for the sake of future and posterity, it's required. Ultimately, I have to do something for my child. If you do something for your child, then Lord has no business. Lord is out of the world. Because there is a new Lord coming to keep taking care of their children. Dushkrutino, mudha. Mudha. Somebody coming and telling me that, what Dr. Sahab, you go into this Gita Yajna, let me tell you my philosophy. World is meant for hard work, make money. And what is wrong in making money? Make money and enjoy the life. Mudha. Mahamaya has completely deluded them. Mudha means delusion. Delusion means the one who keeps enjoying that thing which is not existing. One who is enjoying the thing existing, illusion. One who is enjoying that which is not existing, delusion, mood. They are naradhama, lowest of the mortals. Those who have the capacity to realize the Lord, if they don't do anything, they are called adhama. Those who do not have capacity to Lord, that is why pranis are not adhama. They are in Tiryak Yoni, but they are not adhama. Nara adhama. Nara adhama, you have the capacity as a Nara to become Narayana, which you are not trying, so Naradhamaha Mayaya Apavrita Jnanam. This is the beauty of the Maya. Jnanam also she gives. Takes away the Jnanam, Apohanam also she does. What is the nature of this Maya? Is she the one who helps me? Yes. Is she the one who destroys me? Yes. Is she the one who has trapped me? Yes. Is she the one who takes me out of the trap? Yes. That is why she is called Maya. Maya means in Sanskrit, jugglery. She is the juggler of the world. Yantra rudhani mayaya. It has been set into the motion now. So nature of hers to be understood and her help to be taken to get out of her. To which Ramakrishna Paramahansa Thakurda said, if you have got a pain because of a broken thorn, take another thorn, remove this thorn and throw both the thorns. Take the help of the Maya in the form of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Grantha, Bhagavad Gita, all this is Maya. This is all Anjana. Ram Niranjana. Anjana Sakala Pasarare. Anjana Brahma, Anjana Shankar, Anjana Gopi Sangu, Govindure. Ram Niranjana Nyarare. Mayaya Apavruta Jnana, the one who has lost the discriminative capacity because of the Maya. Asuram, anybody who enjoys the Maya and inculcates the qualities required to enjoy the Maya is Asura. The evildoers, the deluded, the lowest of the man do not seek me. In other words, those who do not seek me are Duskrutino and Mudha and Naradhama. And do not seek me means not 1 hour or 10 minutes every day, because they feel that they are seeking me, but Arjuna, actually they are not. They are just standing in front of my temple. Having the most polished and beautiful golden murti doesn't mean they propitiate me. Even if you don't have, or a broken murti also you have, still you can propitiate me, provided you knows how to propitiate me, how to do prapadyata. Prapadyata in Ramanujacharya Sri Sampradaya is considered to be the only and the highest way of reaching the Lord. It's a different philosophy altogether. But prapadyata, in fact, there is a difference made between sharanagati and prapadyata. Sharanagati and prapadyata, again, there is a difference in it. But to reach to that level is not easy unless the pash of the Maya is reduced. That is why pash of the Maya, the way you are attached to the Maya is through the bondage of Vasana. Vasana is the rope that ties us to the Maya. As you keep cutting the Vasanas, the Maya becomes loose, Tanukarana. And when the Tanukarana is more and more and more and more, then the dhyanam starts becoming mature more and more and more. Today, what we are trying to do with all the ropes of Vasana still intact, we are trying to sit in the meditation saying that, Gurudev said only for 5 minutes, even if you sit that, sir, you will not be able to do it. How can you be freed when you are completely tied up with the ropes and you say that for 5 minutes, think that you are free? You think you cannot, because it's all tied up. First do what? First cut those vasanas. Tanukarana you do, automatically you will feel that Wi-Fi, I am able to sit in 10, 15 minutes also. Process has to be followed step by step. All this in just 2 shlokas Bhagavad Gita Mata has told us. So much to take away and so much to read from the seriousness of the laughter that Gurudev gives in this video. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Now let's start the Chinmaya pledge. We stand as one family, bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all low tendencies and false values within and without us. We live honestly, the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage, and wisdom. May thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities. Give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Om Tat Sat. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
ले लो और विनीता से ले लो।
हरिओम।
मैंने जो इशू किया था वो विनीता के पास है और शैलेश जी का भी एक टिकट और आपका टिकट।